at doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Reggie Miller choke sign after he hit the first shot. Of course, it was pretty cliche, and everyone
kind of made him more likable.
Yeah, it did, and it showed that he was someone who wanted to give the fans a show. And also, this even goes back to New York. Now that it's all said and done in hindsight, I think it's a big kudos to all 4 teams, that gave us a good rest of the playoffs after the stars, so to speak, were out. I think they did a good job at carrying the torch the rest of the way. We got a 7-game final series, and it was a series that was almost impossible to predict.
Did Damian Lillard get hurt in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I saw a meme, which was kind of freaky in its own right. There's so many weird things to this because the Kevin Durant piece, the similarities is really, really, really freaky. By the way, can you hit the clean feed for Adrian on ProView?
Yes, we got him all hooked up.
All right, working on that. 3 stars blew Achilles in the postseason and all wore number 0. Is that right?
Yep.
Lillard, Tatum, and Halliburton.
Got to ban the number.
Look, I don't know what that means other than 3 guys wearing 0 blew their Achilles. We're going to hit this, and I don't even care how you want to attack this. I don't know that we can get into the Thunder first because I think Halliburton's the long-lasting story here.
Of course.
There was, and we've all had conversation, and Isaiah is regular on the afternoon show, 2 Men On. He's the producer on that show. I don't know how much you guys talked about it. Should Tyrese have played? And there was a lot of talk over the last week with this calf strain about Kevin Durant back in, 20, whatever year he was with the Warriors, when he had the same type of injury, a calf strain, played in the finals, popped his popped his Achilles, and missed the entire next year. Remember, he had a redshirt year. He left the Warriors, signed with the Nets, basically got paid $50 million to have a redshirt year and sit out that season. Now, you can argue, has he been the same guy since? We'll get into Kevin Durant, and he's been really, really good. So this was a possibility. And I don't know that while this was disgusting, and there he was sitting there going, no, like he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
Right? I've got 0, and I know people are going to come at me, and I don't care, and I know there's the other side of this. I have 0 problem, even with the result, with that dude playing. It was, and he got through Game 6. He said he felt a little bit better after Game 6. He got the treatment, understanding that this was a possibility, and he most likely will be out all of next year. Okay, Indiana's going to be probably without Halliburton for next year. Understanding this possibility, understanding that it happened. I have 0 issue with dude going out and playing and trying to win a championship.
I agree. And the reason why I agree, I can say I think he should have been able to play, while also I think moving forward, this is going, when it comes to calf strains, and I think you want to go back, and a lot of these guys, maybe Tatum, Lillard, I wish you could ask them, like, hey, before this game, did you have
anything?
Yeah, did you have a sore calf? Was your calf bugging you and you're ignoring something? Because the correlation between Halliburton and KD's is so strong, and I think
it's almost exact.
Yeah, and you don't want to be like walking on eggshells as an athlete. If you're good to go, you're good to go. But when the other side of it is, the data is starting to show that your Achilles could pop, and that being one of the worst injuries, I do think moving forward, if you do have somebody that's dealing with a calf injury, you really have to, look at this thing like, yeah, that calf may feel fine, but your calf is going to get weaker, and then your Achilles has to overcompensate, so then all of a sudden it snaps because your calf muscle isn't 100%. So it's not there to overcompensate for that force you're putting on it. So then all of a sudden it goes down to your Achilles and it pops.
I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to give you a yeah, but. Okay, because I do want to see data. But data's got to go both ways. I don't know that the data's overwhelming. How many dudes have calf strains that didn't pop their Achilles?
Exactly.
And I don't know the answer because we never hear about that, do we?
Not when it doesn't pop, no.
Right. So how many dudes have played with a calf strain or a sore calf and didn't pop their Achilles?
No, that's you don't hear about the Achilles, but you do hear about people playing a lot with calf strains and sore calves and things like that.
Right. And so is it a 10% or is it a 70%? I don't know the answer. I'd love to. I'd love to know if there's somebody in the medical profession who's familiar with the exact correlation. Look, I've looked it up, and I've done the Google and AI thing, and I've read about it, and the hip bone's connected to the chest. I get all that, right? It's all everything. Yeah. It's all. I get it, and I've kind of the dummies version of how does a calf affect the Achilles? Because I did look that up last week and I wanted to know. And so I got your 30,000 foot version of understanding that.
Yeah.
But I before I jump to conclusions, I'd like to know, because I'm going to guess that there's many that didn't blow their Achilles. And so understanding that this is potential, I'm going to lean on this. I got no problem with a dude who may never get back there. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on him nor his franchise. Okay.
Or the team.
You
could tell they felt that too.
It's sports, man. The Celtics were a lock to get back this year, weren't they? Oh, the Celtics. They didn't make it to the finals of their conference. There's no guarantee. Who played last year? It was Dallas. They barely made the playoffs. Who made it the year before, right? I mean, just go back. It was, I believe it was Denver and Boston.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no guarantee. I got a guy who is playing for the pinnacle of his profession. And there was a risk. It sucks, the result. The result ended up for that individual. I'm watching the KD thing, right? I mean, it was, they're showing it to me right now, dude. It was kind of the same thing. Non-contact, moving away, nobody near dude, and Kevin Durant was done.
And here's what I'll say, that I do think that I'm more okay with, in this situation, I don't look at like the Pacers or the trainer and say like, why was he out there? But I think with Durant we were, because I remember with Durant, he was hurt a little bit beforehand and he rushed back too early. And then I think he got hurt again, rushed back.
Again, Kevin Durant was playing in the NBA Finals. I mean, you're an athlete. You played competitively. You gonna pull yourself out of a championship?
Oh no!
When you're that impactful to your team?
Oh no! But I know Halliburton. At least he more openly was more verbal about saying no. Like if I can walk, I want to be out there. But I think in Durant's case, at least from the way it felt, it was more like not that he was bullied or forced, but I felt like he may have knew he wasn't ready, but he was like, I guess like, I gotta go back out there.
I guess I don't remember it as well.
Yeah, me either. But I know Halliburton, he was adamant in saying, if I can walk, I want to be out there.
And I respect that, man. And you know what? Halliburton was getting guessed and just people didn't want to accept it. And I don't know, maybe this gives him the street cred that he needed all this time, because people weren't saying, you're not that dude. You're not that dude. And JJ says this all the time. It's okay to be really good. You don't have to be a superstar. And I don't know if Tyrese Halliburton's ever going to be a superstar. Define that as you wish. There's probably 3, 4, maybe 5 of those dudes in the whole NBA. LeBron and Curry and Jokic, and
it's hard. It's really, really hard.
Who's on that level right now? No, there's those 3 dudes, and who else you got? Is Durant there? Is Wemby on his way? Is Anthony Edwards? I think there's 3 superstars, and then there's a bunch of stars, right?
And you may got some people screaming SGA. I love SGA offensively. I just think like I'm still one of those guys when it comes to superstars. I look at both sides of the court. He's not lousy on defense.
No, he's fine on defense.
He's fine.
He's the best player on the best defensive team in the league.
And then this is a fact.
And so he's pretty effective.
He holds up.
No, I think he's a pretty good defender. I think he's on his way to being a superstar. People are still learning about him. He's playing in a small market. He didn't come up with all the fanfare that LeBron or even Steph Curry did. Now that he's won one, that's really what launched Jokic.
He's got an old school game, doesn't he? Or is it just
he's got an old school game, and he's an old school dude.
Yeah,
he's humble. He's well spoken. He's thoughtful when he speaks. He's not super boastful. Like he's another really, really likable dude. Let's get into it. 505-246-0610. Tons to do today. I mean, the weekend was bonkers. From the College World Series ending to the end of the Travelers yesterday, which was insane, to United winning, to John Jones retiring, to Kevin Durant getting traded, to the Larry O'Brien Trophy being hoisted. I mean, if you don't have something to talk about today, you're listening to the wrong format of radio. 505-246-0610. Let's go. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Find me there. On the Facebook, it's the OD and the AM. Adrian is producing. You can watch the show, get a look at the young, handsome buck that is ZJ. He's right there on Xfinity Channel 26 all over the state of New Mexico. When we get back, what does it mean for the Thunder? Because, I mean, as much as the Halliburton story is a story, the story has to be the champs. And they were the best team all year. They proved it in the NBA championship. And Larry O resigns in OKC. Hey, if you have been the victim of property crime, and if you haven't, you know someone. I mean, that's just, it's Albuquerque, and property crime's real. You know way too well that it takes hours, if not days, for police to respond. They just simply don't have enough officers to cover all the calls they get for service. But when it's you, when it's your home, when it's your business, you require a much quicker response. How about 7 minutes or less? That's the typical response time for the customers of International Protective Service, IPS. I am one of their customers. I've trusted them for years. It's affordable private security in a time where affordable private security is needed. They have officers strategically placed all around Albuquerque, now in Santa Fe. They react quickly. Often they catch criminals in the act. They detain them, the police come get them. IPS provides standing guards if you want eyes on your property around the clock. They install alarms and camera systems. They have a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. All of this raises the level of security around your home and your business. So who is watching your home, your business, when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys. Don't wait to be a victim. It is then too late. Be proactive. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indy Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543.
Hey, walk to the lunchroom to get my coffee because that's what I do on the first break. And somebody wanted to talk about how great that was yesterday. And it was the golf, ZJ. How great the ending of that golf tournament was yesterday, and it was. Keegan Bradley, Captain America, down a stroke on the 18th hole and beat Tommy Fleetwood. We'll get there. That was spectacular. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and ZJ. 505-246-0610. Isaiah's in for JJ this week. Thunder beat the Pacers 103-91. They win the NBA championship. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. He is the most valuable player of the NBA Finals. He is the most valuable player in the season of the NBA. He is the leading scorer in the NBA. What does this mean to him, to this franchise? If you want to start talking about dynasty, I'm less queasy now than I was last week. Zay, I was listening to people talk about dynasty. I'm like, can we tap the break? Don't they have to win one before we start talking about dynasty? But now they've won one, and you can talk about how young they are and how they're put together, and they're going to get better, and everybody else is going to get better too. But for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, what does this mean? Does this elevate him now in, I don't know, common America? So you're a basketball fan in New York or LA or Miami or Chicago who doesn't know what an Oklahoma City is, right? Yeah. Who couldn't maybe point it on a map. I maybe that's not fair, but maybe it is.
Yeah.
Can you be good? Can you be a superstar if you don't play in a major market? San Antonio created dudes that were, right?
Yeah, they definitely did. And I think you can pull it off. I think what helps is, and this is not SGA's fault, right? You play who's on your schedule. But I think if he would have had, even in this run, if you would have been able to sprinkle in, say, the Lakers, and, like, say he took out LeBron on his path, I think then in the public eye, it's like, okay, this guy.
Took out Jokic, dude.
He did, and that was a great series. But I think the way the Thunder are built, he is the head of the snake. But I think people are always reluctant unless they see or get the notion that a player individually can take over a game. I think the Thunder right now, we look at them as the best team, and he's the best player on the best team. But I don't know if SGA comes off, it's like, oh, this team is the best team because this guy's the best player in the league. And I think, like, when you're an NBA fan, at least just because the bar has been set by these guys, Steph and even Giannis when he won the championship, the bar has been set by these guys to just be these transcendent, dominant players. And we've been spoiled. It's gone from then LeBron, then to Giannis, and then now Jokic. We've got this big center who's shooting threes and is an amazing passer and is averaging triple-doubles. So then it's really hard for SGA to come in and in the public eye also meet that level because he's, like we said earlier, he's an old-school player. Whereas the past 4 or 5 years, even longer, we've been seeing, like, the best player in the league has usually been somebody who we've never seen anything like him.
So because we've seen something like, okay, who's like him? Or who is he like? How about that?
So this puts me in a hot spot because the internet and like the social media and everybody, they're so quick to compare him to Kobe and just because of play style.
That's tough.
Now, and I will say these playoffs, I could see why they were saying that.
Now, you probably didn't watch a whole lot of SGA all year.
Not a lot, but I also knew how he played. But I was like, let's see if he does it in the playoffs. But he consistently 30, 30, 30, 30,
Yeah,
30.
he did.
But in the way he plays and the timing of which he decides to start going on scoring barrages is very Kobe-like, because it's when the team is up by 6 to 8 points, and then that's when he decides, if I can score a quick 10 here.
Well, but he's taken over when it needs to be taken over. He distributes. He gets everybody else involved. He had 12 assists yesterday. Was plus 11.
No
he
turnovers.
Scored 29, and he turned the ball over one time.
Oh, he got one in the
he
fourth
did
quarter?
turn one over.
He had 0 for his
the stat sheet's got him as 1. I think that's a fair comparison of his game. Who is he like? And again, stop. Put the phone down. Neither one of us said he is Kobe Bryant. Okay? Neither one of us said he is as good as Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a comp on who does he play like,
I could see it.
I think that's a fair comp.
I can see
He's not that dude, although he just won his first one and he's still pretty young. I love that he kind of came up, although, gosh, he's been in the league 7 years. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
I hate that, okay? that he's got to knock out, I mean, who? It had to be LeBron or Steph? He knocked out freaking Jokic.
He did. And so I think more so of that, I think the stronger reason for that explanation is more so of because when you think of the Thunder, you think of it like they've got a lot of really, really solid players. And in your mind, when you think of the game, you think if SGA has a bad game, can they still win? It's like, of course.
Well, all right, I'll push you a little bit again. So a couple things. He knocked out Jokic, and he knocked out Anthony Edwards in 5, and Anthony Edwards was the next thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody want to make Anthony Edwards Kobe.
They really do.
Mike Jordan.
Yeah, they're giving him Mike.
Right?
He just skipped over Kobe. He's going straight to Mike.
So he was, and yet this guy beat him in 5, and I say his team beat their team in 5, and then went on won a championship, and he's MVP. If you're going to say who's a better player, who's more impactful, it's easy, it's sexy, it's flashy, it's more eye candy to say Anthony Edwards. But in fact, the answer is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that I've been noticing even all year. People are trying. It's like you don't hear his name get mentioned.
It needs to be.
It does. And when Giannis didn't have this problem, when he was on that Milwaukee Bucks run, there was no like.
It was Jamal Murray. There was Jamal Murray. There were. I'm sorry.
Giannis.
I'm sorry.
Giannis. Giannis.
Yeah, he had Chris Middleton, and it was him.
But people were still. It seemed like it was easier to kind of give him that title.
So back this up, because if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not in Oklahoma City, how good are
they? They might be top 4, top. I mean, the West was really competitive. The West was
they're
really,
the 8th seed in the West, and they get through the play-in and they get beat in the first round. They do.
Maybe makes that.
And I'll even go a step further. And I really like Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
If Tyrese Halliburton's on the team instead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're like the 6th to 8th team in the West.
I agree.
And so he is that dude.
I do agree, and I think he's a great. I mean, your team. If your teammates are having a bad game, you can be okay with SGA in your team. With Halliburton, if your teammates aren't scoring, you might be in trouble because he's not guaranteed to be able to get out there and give you 30 points.
Because the Pacers went 11 minutes with nobody but T.J. McConnell scoring. By the way, can we give that little dude a little credit?
Yeah.
It's not some random, wow, that's a weird, that little white dude had a hell of a game. No, man. T.J. McConnell balled in this.
Yeah.
And he did it and Mike Breen said it consistently enough where it's not a damn fluke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he carried him in the third quarter. Now, you could say he carried them and they got beat in the third quarter 34-20. Yeah, because nobody else scored.
He couldn't do anything. The Thunder adjusted, and they're like, okay, we're just going to swarm this guy. And
Even when they swarmed him, dude, he was putting it up over Holmgren, who's a million feet tall. He was getting past whoever was defending him. I mean, can we give him a little credit? I'm not saying make him MVP or all NBA, but that dude showed up when he needed to. Hallie goes down, and this dude, like, if you want to say, well, I mean, Halliburton was there, so McConnell came in and scored probably more than Halliburton might have. Nobody else did.
Yeah.
Where was Pascal Siakam in the third quarter? Where was Aaron Nesmith, who had 3 points, and Miles Turner, who had 6, and Nembhard, who had 15? And where were those guys, man? Mathurin got a lot of minutes late, and he padded his stats. Where were those guys? All right, 505-246-0610. I got a break. I'm super late for it. Start ringing the phones. Oh, there you go. All right, I want to hear. I know you got stuff to say. It's the opening drive. Isaiah's in for JJ. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Zone.
Brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with
Jalen Green and this year's pick. And now I got a closer, and I basically traded Jalen Green for Kevin Durant. I win. And I got to keep all my young pieces, all of those studs that I've got on that roster. I got to keep Amin Thompson, and I got to keep – yeah, we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll absolutely get into the Kevin Durant trade. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
I'm living like it's a few months from Thanksgiving. Nice to hear you and Isaiah this morning. I remember that 79 finals, watching it tape delayed after the 10 o'clock news. Gus Williams.
With Pat
and
O'Brien.
Those great uniforms.
Yeah. And Lenny Wilkins was the head coach.
If memory serves, I think they beat the Washington Bullets with Wes Unseld.
That to be right. Yeah. And Tony Dandridge and
Yeah, I think Sigma was part of that crew.
He was.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I was a young spry
crusher, Slick Watts.
Probably 8-9 years old, but we stayed up late to watch the finals at 10:30 at night.
Slick Watts, right? Was on the team, wasn't
he? Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely. And Lenny Wilkins, I believe, was the coach.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But hey, OKC, they went wire to wire this year.
Yep.
A transcendent season. And SGA, I read a stat this morning on ESPN that he passed Michael Jordan for the scoring average during the regular season to win a title. And then I read the comments, and people were like, free throw merchant and this, that, and the other. You know, Jeff, and I think Isaiah will appreciate this, been alive, you and I, the same amount of time, a little over half a century. And everything's improved, right? Technology and travel and medicine. Quarterbacks can throw the ball 80 yards effortlessly
not
now.
Music. Music hasn't improved. I don't think music has.
Maybe not the music, right? But everything has improved. Dietary for the normal person, dietary, workout. Everything in the history of the world can improve except the basketball in the 1980s and the basketball in the Kobe era. But everything else in the world can improve, but nothing other than those two things can improve, right? No, never, except for maybe Steph's shooting. Steph's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. But that's the logic with most people. Well, they'll never be this and they'll never be that. But everything else in the history of the world can improve. The phone you're using, technology, how we decipher information, I just find it interesting.
At least you
It's kinda funny
understand
to
that.
me.
No, I appreciate. I'm glad that you understand it, though. That's good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because those moments frozen in time. By the way, they talk about free throw merchant, Jeff. I distinctly remember two quotes when Jordan came up, and Jordan's amazing. One of the greatest player ever, right? Obviously, or maybe arguably.
No,
I remember quotes from one of the players in the league
obvious.
that would say, "Hey, anybody could score 32 a game if you shoot 40 times." I remember that quote. I remember when they formed the Dream Team, and him and Bird and Magic were in a photo shoot, and Magic distinctly said, "You can't get too close to Michael because they'll call a foul." You remember that too, Jeff?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and he was
that
laughing
the
about it.
narrative back then.
Yeah, and he was laughing about it, and they all laughed about it, and Mike laughed about it too.
But yeah, Mike got a lot of calls, and that's okay. That's how it was back then. But I just to reiterate, everything in the history of the world can improve, except today's basketball. Anyway, SGA, a deserving champion. He had an amazing year last year. One thing I learned about Halliburton, and it was very evident to me, he couldn't create a shot in the half court. He scored in transition, and he scored off broken plays and rebounds primarily, right? Doesn't mean he's trash. He's an excellent player. But that team would struggle. And by the way, the defense I saw in this year's playoffs was tight and strong. And when people say, well, they don't play defense in the NBA, they didn't watch the games. Because that defense was across the board throughout the playoffs was amazing.
Yeah, Oklahoma City's defense was the best defense I've seen in the NBA in...
It's historically great statistic.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that, right? Pick your number of years, but for just from the eye test, that's the best defense I've seen in the NBA in a long, long time.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Surprised me. I picked OKC in 5. They kind of walked through Game 6. Really, they should have just taken the night off and rested. But
They did.
But that series could have gone either way. But their margin of victory was pretty solid. But I enjoyed it, and I give credit to every era. To every, there's greats in every era, and it's okay that somebody else has success. It makes people feel a little insecure, but it's okay that other people have success.
Back when I was a kid. Yeah, no, I got
That's
it.
right.
I got it. Get off my damn lawn. See ya.
The older I get, the better I was.
Yeah, see ya.
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, get off
Thanks,
my
Average.
freaking lawn, man. Yeah. I mean, your era is always the best.
I was gonna ask, and that's what I've heard, and everyone always says nostalgia makes everything seem great. I was gonna hope you also agreed that the Kobe era was maybe one of the best eras. I mean, I feel like it maybe had, for anybody who says like, oh, it was tougher in the 90s and the 80s, I feel like it had a little bit of that. But also, if you like the scoring of today, I feel like there's a little bit of that in
I
there
don't
as
know.
well.
Define best, man. You know what the best
That's a
is
great
usually
question.
when you were the kid and you were growing up and you were most into it. That's usually the best,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your most influential years were when you're in that 8 to 18 era when you just are loving sports,
Yeah.
and that's what matters. And those were your heroes, and that's probably everybody's best era, right?
Yeah.
But, the old timers will tell you how great. Whether it was Musial or Mays or whomever, right? Those were the eras. I don't know. I loved the Kobe era. I'm old enough that I grew up with Showtime Lakers.
Okay.
So
I wish I could have seen that live time.
That was amazing to me. I remember the first game that Magic played against the San Diego Clippers, and he hit Kareem hit the hook shot to win. And Magic jumped on him like they won Game 7. He's like, Rook, we got another 81. Like, get off me, right? I mean, if you look up the first game, Magic's rookie year, Kareem hit a shot at the buzzer to beat the San Diego Clippers. And so those were great times, too. I think everybody, you get nostalgic, and it's what you grew up with. And that's the greatest era. And I'm not sure there's a right or wrong answer. Because you're never going to convince the LeBron guy that Mike's better, or vice versa. You're never going to convince the guy who's said Bill Russell in that era was the greatest.
Yeah,
I don't, and that's the beauty of it. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. The answer is my favorite was, and that was the best.
Yeah, I saw some posts the other day. It said final celebrations just aren't the same anymore. And they were like,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's just the feeling of the finals being won. I don't know. I feel like people are just hating.
Well, they used to do it. Go back and watch, if you watch any of those Lakers Celtics documentaries on HBO or any of that stuff, they used to do the celebration of the trophy thing in the locker room.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're right. They're not different. Yeah, or they're not the same. They're very different. You're right. You're right. They don't run into the locker room and light their cigars right away. They bring out a stage. Yep, you're right. They're different.
Factually different.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means anymore. And I just think that, you know, we get romantic about it. We get nostalgic about it. And I could be wrong. I mean, I just firmly believe that when we're most impressionable, and those of us who love sports grew up sports fans, right? That's what we loved as kids. And so those were the greatest times.
And also to Edward's point about everything can get better. You know, a guy, of course, as he's recovering from his injury, Kyrie Irving, he's been on camera a lot, doing like a lot of videos, talking to his fans. And one of his videos, he's going through and he's watching this guy say like, "Oh, Kyrie, you know, I think I was better handler than Kyrie, whatever." And he goes on, he'll be the first to tell you. He's like, "Look, if it wasn't for AI, if it wasn't for Isaiah Thomas, like I wouldn't have had examples." Yeah. You know, like I wouldn't have had examples to go off of and to evolve off of. So
that's how he grew up, right?
Yes.
Yep, that's it. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Thunder win the NBA championship. We'll get into the KD draft as well. I'm interested to see what you say. I think they stole him, but you think they maybe gave up too much. We'll get there. This is spectacular. It's called the No Regrets ring, and it's only at John Thomas Jewelers. So if you're getting engaged, you want to have that ring that she's going to love forever. But how on earth are you supposed to know what she's going to love before you give it to her? Well, there is the No Regrets ring. Any ring you get at John Thomas Jewelers, any ring you design at John Thomas Jewelers, and when you design a ring there, you see it in 3D. They'll preview it with 3D printed wax before they make it out of precious metal, so you see all the detail. But if she wants something different, you've got an entire year to redesign it after you propose. There's no penalty, even on custom-made rings. Who does that? Only John Thomas Jewelers. Plus, all their rings come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty. Their diamonds are spectacular, hand-selected by John Thomas Jewelers in Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world. This is why they're my jeweler, because they're the best. Because not only is it the best quality, it's the best service. They go above and beyond. You'll understand it the second you walk in the door. It's the No Regrets ring. Get your love story right. Get the ring right. It's exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. Go by, visit them on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. They're on Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal. You will see why. They've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years and one of the coolest jewelry stores in America. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420
or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family.
Grant to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, this year's number 10 overall pick in 5 seconds. So Houston holds on to Şengün, and Houston holds on to Jabari Smith, and Houston holds on to Amen Thompson, and they love Cam Whitmore, and they like Reed Shepherd. I mean, to me, they won. But let's go to. I mean, I'm interested in maybe someone that lives in the Valley of the Sun, and I mean maybe Miguel's got a thought on it. What's up, Miguel? How you living?
Hey, real good, guys. Good morning. Happy Monday. Congrats to Oklahoma City. Feel bad for Halliburton, but it was a good series. Went a couple games longer than I thought it would. Yeah. Hey, I didn't talk about the Suns trade. Huge Suns fan here. We had to get rid of Durant. I mean, Durant's still playing really good, but he's going to be 37 before next season starts. It's been 15 years in the league. I got to believe at some point he's going to start to slow down, and his numbers aren't going to be as good. And it's not that I'm not. I don't want to sound like I'm slamming Kevin Durant. I'm not. I don't mean to, because I respect him a lot. But he seems like he's going on his 5th team in I don't know how many years. He's somewhat. I think he's somewhat a malcontent. I mean, I think he's a great player, and he's going to give you numbers. I just don't know how well he works out in the locker room, and I think he lacks leadership skills. And that's what Houston is getting. They're getting a great player, but there's some tangibles there I worry about. I think the Suns didn't get enough for him. Now they have no big man. They got a bunch of guards. They're still stuck with Bradley Beal. I don't know if we can ever get rid of Bradley Beal at all, but and they still lack. They gave away a ton of first-round draft picks, getting both Beal and Durant over the last few years.
Yeah, but now you can own the second round.
Yeah, now we got a ton of second round, and this team's in a big rebuild. And I tell you who I feel divorced for is Devin Booker. Yes. He is an NBA All-Star. He's been with this team. He says the right things, does the right things all the time, and if he's going to stick with it, I think it's going to be a couple of years before anything shows.
Yeah, I think you're right, Miguel. I appreciate the call, and I was wondering how you're feeling over in Phoenix. Thanks for the call, man.
Thank you.
Miguel calls us on a regular basis. Listens. Isaiah's in for JJ this week. He says he likes what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think they got enough. I don't know how you rebuild now. I think they're going to flip Dylan Brooks. I think they're going to continue to try to get assets. And they're going to have the Devin Booker piece is big because they love him there and he loves it there from every indication. Yeah. But now, what do you got around Devin Booker? Like, are they in this Houston mode from 4 years ago where they're going to have to rebuild? And do they have the assets where Oklahoma City was 5 years ago where they, you make a couple of trades? I mean, I don't know. Is Jalen Green going to become Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? I don't know that I see that happen. Jalen Green's really nice.
Yeah, so there's a few things, and I guess they're all just reports, right?
Okay.
The first one is, I guess Phoenix is looking to move Jalen Green, so they don't have any intention of keeping him there.
And probably Dylan Brooks, too, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, that goes for most teams as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that. No, I'm down.
He's too good to be out of the league, but it's almost kind of like hot potato with Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Jalen Green, he's just a little bit inconsistent, right? I guess he's just inconsistent, and that's the thing. I think I'm high up on Jalen Green, and that's why I feel like this trade was crazy. That's why I feel like
for who? Like
for,
crazy
for
good.
So for Houston, the reason why is just because kind of what Edward said. I think Durant, if he's at a point in his life where I think he is pretty content with his career. Kind of how John Jones was talking before he retired. That's kind of how Kevin Durant's been talking. He's like, look, I've already been the scoring champ. I've already won gold medals. I've already won MVPs. So it's like, I mean, I'm Kevin Durant, so I can go walk out there and score 25 just because. So I'll go do that for a basketball team.
Like, let's continue this on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on, and I want to hear more on where you think this trade went. Because I just don't think they got enough. If you're going to tell me Desmond Bain's worth 4 first-round picks and you get 5 seconds for Kevin Durant, I just don't get it. But I'm listening. It's the opening drive. Isaiah's in for JJ. I'm Jeff Symbieta. It's 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Talk in the Duke City. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, the Thunder are NBA champions. They beat the Pacers 103-91. What will you remember most from this series? Tyrese Halliburton's injury. I mean, just because you saw it 1,000 times. Holy smoke. Just that pop. We all just went, I mean, just no, as he's laying on the ground going, no. He knew. Mm-hmm. He knew. You ever just, I don't know, been injured, had that kind of a thing, you just like, no.
Luckily, God willing, I haven't. But, I've seen it happen to people.
Yeah.
And Halliburton was another one of those things. And I just, before the game, I didn't really have any emotion as far as who I wanted to win. But after that happened, I was like, I want to see Halliburton celebrating with his team after they won without him.
I thought they were going to win, dude.
Me too.
I thought this is so sports. This is why we love sports. Like, the star goes down, and I just thought it was going to be that. Isaiah's in for JJ. It's the opening drive. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. The Thunder... It's funny. We had a call in the first hour. Nothing's ever better than it was in the past, and your era is always the best. I'm good with that. The Thunder won 68 games this year.
Jeez.
Okay. They won another 16 to win the title. 68 plus 16 equals 84. Only two other teams in the history of the NBA have won more than 84 games or more and won a title.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Both of those teams had Michael Jordan on it.
Oh.
No? Didn't know where I was going?
No, it caught me off guard there.
So we were having this conversation about where's this team, where does Shea land in this whole conversation, where will he end up? And he's still creating his legacy. And look, we're going to get into ring culture and all this crap that goes with it. But Jordan's Bulls won 84 or more games twice. They came back-to-back seasons. They won the 96 championship after winning 72 games in the regular season, 15 in the postseason. That was 87. That's the record for a team winning a title. And then the next season, they won 69 regular season games and 15 in the postseason for a total of 84, which matches the Thunder. So the only other two teams in the history of the NBA that won 84 total games and won a title were Michael Jordan's Bulls. If you're on the side that wants to start crowning this team a dynasty, which they're going to have to earn that, but okay. Now, you do need to note the Golden State Warriors in the 2015-2016 season won 73 games during the year and added 15 wins in the playoffs. So they won 88, which is more, but they did not win the championship. So that does not qualify them to be on the list. But
I like that stat because it shows a team that was dominant and then completed the task.
Correct.
Right? You dominate, complete the task. There's a lot of those years where I know all through the regular season when Derrick Rose was in his prime, right? And it looked like the Bulls were going to be just the best team and go win the championship, and then they would burn out in the playoffs. And there's a few other teams that did that. And I think, it's very impressive to show all that effort, especially nowadays in this load management culture, I guess you could call it, where some athletes just don't play back-to-backs and things like that. So to go win all those games and then win the championship.
To go wire to wire is pretty impressive. And it's one thing, people tell me all the time, well, the best team didn't win the championship. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes there's a difference between the best team and the champions. Well, what do you mean, Jeff? Well, I go back to the Patriots where they were, 16-0 in the regular season, and they lost on that David Tyree catch and the helmet catch and to Eli, and they lost the Super Bowl. I think almost all of us believe the Patriots were a better team than the Giants that year, but the Giants won the Super Bowl. That's why otherwise don't have playoffs. Just have regular seasons and crown champions. But we have playoffs in almost all sports, right? We have, in golf, you have majors. In we have playoffs. and that's how we crown champions.
Yeah.
And that's where legends are made. I want to go back to the Durant trade. Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, this year, which is Thursday, the 10th overall pick of the draft, and then 5 seconds. So you believe that Phoenix came out on top in this draft, right? Or in this trade, right?
Yeah. You going to say why?
Yeah, go.
I think so because it has nothing to do with the ability of Kevin Durant. I just worry, I wouldn't say worry. I just don't know how much he truly still wants to go out and win a championship. Not because he can't. I just feel like he's been there, done that in his mind. And I feel like it's so easy. It's always looked easy. I feel like it's so easy for him to score and be himself, or at least be anywhere close to Kevin Durant enough to get a max contract, obviously. But I don't know if he's still if he's got the same drive as that Golden State Warriors Kevin Durant that was trying to get those rings and, check that box.
Yeah, I don't know Kevin Durant, but I kind of feel the opposite. I feel like he has something to prove and is running out of time to prove it.
Okay.
I feel like he had his opportunity in Oklahoma City. They were up 3-1 and they lost. Then he goes and joins a champion, and whilst I do not believe he rode their coattails, and I don't begrudge him like many people do, he was the MVP of the finals. Like he was a key, if not the key component to winning championships there. But then he went and tried to do his own thing in Brooklyn. It was a gong show. Then he tried to do his own thing in Phoenix. It was, as our president says, it was a disaster. He's a disaster. And I believe for his legacy, and I do believe it's important to him, that he wants to prove, and he's run out of time. And so he joins this group. And so here's why I think Houston steals him. I think everybody wants to get rid of Dylan Brooks. Whatever. Okay, so they get rid of Dylan Brooks. Jalen Green is a nice player. But if you're going to say I'm trading Jalen Green for Kevin Durant, what didn't Houston have? Houston did not have somebody who could create a shot. Houston did not have anybody who could score from outside. Houston did not have someone to go to close a game. Now they do. So you're telling me, I almost take Dylan Brooks out. Who cares? Right? No, honestly. I mean, whatever. He's past, he plays some defense. As you said, I think you said it great. He's good enough to stick around the NBA, but he's a hot potato. Fine. And I think Phoenix is going to move him too. They traded this year's 10th. So you're telling me I give Jalen Green and whatever I was going to get 10th for Kevin Durant, who's an all-time great, and I'm in win-now mode. And by the way, I was the second seed in the West, the only team better all year in the Western Conference than me was the team that just won it all. And now I just added Kevin Durant. I love who I am. And I give second-round picks. Like, who cares? Right? 5 second-round picks? And from Phoenix perspective, I've got Devin Booker. I'm buried in the Bradley Beal deal. How am I rebuilding with seconds? I have no firsts right now. Now, I guess I'm going to try to swing these and get a first-round pick somewhere. But tell me how I'm getting better when I have that. And I look around and I'm like, Desmond Bain pulled 4 or 5 first-round picks, and Mikal Bridges was worth 4 or 5, and Rudy Gobert. But I got 1 and a bunch of seconds for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, so I think, if I'm a Phoenix fan, like I think it was Edward called him was a Phoenix fan. Miguel was a Phoenix fan. So I feel like, and I've been seeing a lot of talks about Devin Booker possibly being moved. So Phoenix might just be in that rebuild mode.
If they do that, they're just blowing the whole thing up.
Yeah, and I think at this point, for the sake of Devin Booker, if you are, he's done right by you. Maybe don't have him be heartbroken about it. Mutually send him somewhere where he thinks he could win. I think you got to get rid of Devin Booker.
Let me tell you something. If Devin Booker's on the market, if I'm everybody, I want it.
Oh, yeah.
Because Devin Booker is a dynamic scorer who's been buried on a crappy team that took a team to the finals a couple years back, and is like you say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is nobody
I was
paying
just going to
attention
say
to?
he should be in the same category as SGA. I think similar players.
Yeah, I agree.
Very similar players. So yeah, Phoenix can get some things back for Booker. They could just be in a total rebuild. And for Houston, I guess my initial reaction was I look at Jalen Green. I'm like, okay, he's 23. I've seen this guy score 40 points before, take over games, insane dunks. And then, you do go look at Houston, and I think there was a part of me that didn't realize how deep and well-rounded they were because they did get booted by the Warriors so quickly. But you look at Houston, and then you look at the players that they still have, and you pair them with Kevin Durant, and they still kept their centers, and they still have Amin Thompson.
Yeah.
And for Dylan Brooks, I was just like, okay, well, it's a defensive player gone, but then, Thompson's, insane defender. So Houston, I don't know if I would call them the favorites, but there's no reason they should drop lower in second.
Well, I guess Oklahoma City as the defending champion might have to be. But you're telling me I got Durant now with Şengün, with Amin Thompson.
And Adams is still there, right?
Van Vliet was terrific. Adams is there. Whitmore's there. They're really nice. They're really, really nice. And they're paying Durant $51 million, and after that, their highest paid guy is Steven Adams at $12 million.
This is what's so cool about cameras. Did you see the video of him in the middle of an interview when the news broke?
He was at a festival, right?
Yeah, like Fanatics Festival.
Yeah.
And the news breaks, and then he goes, well, the Phoenix fans wanted me gone. So I don't know if Miguel can confirm that, but he goes,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, Phoenix fans wanted me gone. I want to be gone. I'm glad we both got
Everybody
what we wanted.
wins, I guess. I just don't see how Phoenix comes out on top. Well, let's see what they can spin and turn this thing around, because if they're in a rebuild, then, it's just such a hard one to eat. And how long does Devin Booker want to stick around? I know he loves it there, and they love him.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you don't want him dying on the vine either.
Yeah.
It's nice to make $51 million or whatever Devin Booker's making, but, losing sucks.
Yeah, it's a bad look. I think he can go out respectfully. I don't think Dame Lillard is hated in Portland or anything like that. I think
No, he's loved in Portland,
Yes.
and that's a really fair comp. If they're going to go that way, then you respect him and let him go. I'm just going to tell you, if in fact that's the deal, and if that dude is on the market, and his $50 million. So right now, the Suns are basically $100 million into Beal and Booker.
Okay.
And $22 million into Dylan Brooks. That's a clown act, isn't it? Explain to me how that dude's getting $22 million.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you he sucks. He's a $22 million player.
Mm-mm.
Where's my guy Kenny Thomas when I need him?
We'll have to ask him about that.
All right. 505-246-0610. Anything you want to get in on the finals, the Durant trade, the draft is coming up in 3 days, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's here right now.
Also, that parade for OKC is quick, isn't
It's
it?
tomorrow.
Is it usually that fast?
I don't know, man. The draft is right on top of the finals. It's all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, dude, if Booker's on the market, how do you not want Booker?
Yeah, I think there's nothing. I'm not going to go that far comparing the players, but if you've got a team, right? You look at the way OKC's built, and this is what I loved about the finals, is I think is now owners can look at it and say, okay, hold on, we don't need to have 2-3 max players. Which, although the Thunder maybe in a couple of years their players
Jalen
wouldn't.
Williams going to get paid.
Yeah, they're going to be worth that. But as of right now, it's like you just have a good team with the head of this snake, because what a guy like Devin Booker can be for your basketball team.
Where does Booker work? Like Indiana, he works in Detroit.
That'd be a great match in Indiana,
right?
I don't know if he'd want to go there.
Especially with Hallie out for the year, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't he want to go there?
I mean, I hate to sound like a Lakers fan.
They just the Lakers. How they putting him with Luka and LeBron's salary? Like with all due respect,
salaries.
How
that'd
you
be
do
tough.
it?
I'm so sick about LeBron taking the max. That's not the topic.
LeBron's gonna be $52 million, and Luka's gonna be $50+ million, and this guy's $50 million. Like, how you can't do it? I get where you're going, and that'd be wonderful. How?
We gotta figure it out. Maybe maybe Mark Walter. He's gonna be the first owner to go in there and say, "Look, let's get rid of the salary cap."
Okay. Yeah, like in baseball, because
yeah,
the salary cap.
Yeah, what happens then?
Yeah, the Dodgers just spend and spend and spend. No, I get it.
And the Lakers will be right on par.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario out of this whole thing.
All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on any of the hoops, man. The Durant trade, the finals, SGA, Hallie. I'll reset my take on Halliburton playing. We got other stuff. The golf was great this weekend. United were winners this weekend. LSU wins the college baseball championship. Travis Hunter signs his deal. He got paid as well. It's all available for you at 505-246-0610. Where are you going for lunch today? Got an idea for you. Twin Peaks, lunch, happy hour, they got you covered. Step up your lunch routine. They have savory soups and crisp salads and hearty sandwiches, and it all starts at $7.99. Happy hour, slide into that with handcrafted cocktails, top shelf spirits, and the coldest 29-degree draft beers in the game. So whether you're on lunch break or you're off the clock, there's always something cooking at Twin Peaks. It's great food. It's great drinks. It's even better views. And it's only at Twin Peaks. And don't forget their late nights. 10 o'clock till close, Sunday through Thursday. That would include tonight. They have hand-stretched flatbreads, so they're just $8. Baked fresh, loaded with flavor, perfect for those late-night cravings. When you pair it with something from their rare bourbon collection, talk about hard-to-find bourbons. Barrel selects, hand-picked by their team. Top-shelf tequilas worth sipping slow. So whether you're winding down or just getting the night started, there is no better place than Twin Peaks. Kick back, stay late, and taste the difference.
This report is sponsored by Amazon.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard.
Yeah, pretty much.
You ever say something nice? I don't like the booth. ABC showed it too much. Doris Burke's horrible. When does anybody ever say something nice on X? No, I'm listening. Tell me. Exactly. So what was wrong with the hat?
I don't know. I guess it's just the design. Maybe it was the rope. I don't know.
Rope hats are kind of hot right now. They've been.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I mean, you don't have to like them.
You're ahead of me. I think you're ahead of me then. I got to get one. I mean, put a rope on this one.
And we just gave out nice ones last week at the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl Golf Tournament.
Really?
Yeah, branded bills and they're pretty nice.
Okay.
Like the state of New Mexico with the like the little football right here, right on this. They're nice.
Yeah, I'm onto it.
Yeah,
I'm onto it.
Yeah, people. I saw I was at Dirks Bentley the other night and somebody was wearing one.
Oh, you were there? How was that?
It was fun, dude. That was a good show. It was a really, really fun time.
Heard it was like everyone left dusty. I was like, what does that mean? Like it was actually like windy in the dust.
It wasn't that way. I thought it was perfect. Again, I
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I'm just a messenger.
Who said it was dusty? The X?
Yep. Well, no, just a couple people.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel dusty. I felt pretty good about life.
He's like, I
don't know. Awesome. Drove in, parked, went in, had a good time, hung out with my child. She had a great time.
Nice.
Saw a bunch of people I liked. Saw 3 great bands. It was,
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah. Got up in the morning, played golf. I mean, I had a good weekend, man. I should go on the X and say, wow, this was great. Do they allow you on the X if you say nice things? Like if you enjoy life, if you're not a miserable bastard on there? Like if you're not a miserable freaking human being, are you allowed on X? No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, but they suppress you. They suppress you.
They'll make you miserable because they'll come after you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How dare you actually enjoy something?
Yeah, they'll just make fun of you. They'll go to your profile picture, post your picture, zoom in on. Yeah, they'll just do anything.
Yeah. Look at this clown. All right. On the text line, SGA is James Harden with more heart. Plays better defense than James Harden.
I think he cares. I think he's more of a team guy.
Okay.
I think he's more team oriented. I've never seen, OKC, almost every single one of their player interviews, they've got four or five of them behind them, all on the shoulder.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing now, though. All the teams are doing that now. It's kind of the thing.
They do.
It's like rope hats.
But I feel like James Harden was that guy that showed up to practice after warm-ups, skipped warm-ups.
Yeah, I don't know that for a fact.
Well, not like literally, but just like, especially in Houston, right? Because there was times where, what was it, when he was always at the clubs, he's found at the clubs. Like,
oh, yeah, he liked the strip club, huh? Wasn't that the place with the lemon wings?
Yeah, lemon pepper wings.
Yeah.
Which also, by the way, is always a good flavor.
Is it?
If the place knows what they're doing.
I mean, who's got the best lemon pepper wings in town? You don't have to say it. Then you want.
Yeah. Well, I gotta talk to them first. See if they'll tell me to say that.
What's up, Albuquerque? come try the Monte Cristo sandwich.
I've never tried it, but I know it's good.
I know. All right, text line says, this was about Michael Jordan. Edward was on one of the callers earlier, said Dream Team. Magic Johnson, when they were taking the picture of the Dream Team back in '92, made a crack. Well, don't get too close to Michael Jordan. They'll call a foul on you, right? This says, they laughed about it, but it was true. Never seen anyone go to the free throw line without being touched as much as Michael Jordan. Says, I'm around half a century old as well. All right. I mean, yeah, he got the superstar treatment.
Was he? I heard he was hard on the refs too. I think SGA is just like.
Who is it, man? Show me one who's not.
I think SGA, like we said before, maybe he's not always just respectful. I'm sure he's had some meltdowns to the referees, and he'll flail his hands up. But I feel
not
like
everybody's like LeBron, though.
Yeah,
your guy just got to stop. No, honestly.
I guess he's sort of my guy now. He's been inherited.
Whatever, that's your dude.
Yeah, he's been inherited.
You can have him.
He's bad. Luka's terrible.
Yeah. So now you got the all wine team.
Yeah, we got the all wine team over here. But SGA, I think he's the comparison with Harden is both of them. I think they studied the rules and they found their own way to not like necessarily hack the system, but they found a way to always put themselves in position to be fouled.
Look, man, if you're going to go to the rim, you're going to get to the free throw line more than a guy who's going to shoot just threes. I mean, it's just you're going to create. There's a term, create contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an art to creating contact. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not hacking the system. You're playing basketball. And by the way, you play through a lot of contact, and dude goes through the hole a lot and doesn't get fouled.
And Paul George kind of broke this down when talking about this whole foul merchant thing for SGA. And I think so. I guess what SGA is really good at is, he'll have you leaning your weight on him, and then he'll take it off.
Yeah.
And then he'll put it back and then take it off. So he'll kind of make you bump into him. He's still getting fouled. But he's just, hey, he goes to the line, but here's the thing. He also usually will make about all of them.
Yeah, 80 plus. Yeah, 88 plus. I got no problem with it. I really, again, whatever. Maybe I'm not, that's why I'm not on apps.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
You can go maybe get 12, 14 free throws, but you're not guaranteed to hit 12 or 14. And he still does
he's
that.
He's going to hit 11 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one's from John. It says, good morning, Jeff and Isaiah. Congrats to Oklahoma City Thunder last night, but when they showed Halliburton shredding his Achilles on the floor, man, that looked painful. Tough injury for sure. Thanks, fellas. Yeah, I probably saw it too many times.
I was going to say, I didn't like how they kept playing him.
It was enough, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, and we saw it that first time, and you saw the pop, and you want to throw up the first time, and probably want to throw up the second time, and then it was like, stop. I got it, man. And we all know what it was. We've all been trained to see it before. I got it, and it was rough. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. That's the email, or I'm sorry, that's the phone line and the text line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. You can find us on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. Get a good look at what Isaiah is. Well, who's that new voice? Well, what does he look like? Oh, look at that. Hey, ladies. There he is right there on Xfinity Channel 26. on our Facebook page, The OD and the AM, and of course on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Go by and say what's up. Adrian's produced in there. All right, there's other stuff. John Jones is retiring, which is you think John Jones? We can get there. Is that real? Is that done? Other stuff did happen, and we can go there as well. The NBA championship is so, there's so many tentacles to this, and then the Durant trade, and it all happened hours ago. So that's where we are. It's on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420
or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following.
I don't know. Perspective's crazy, man. I thought it was a crazy good sports weekend. But I don't know. Maybe we're like X. You can tell me what was wrong with everything. Kevin Durant got traded from Phoenix to Houston. In return, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th overall pick in Thursday's draft, and 5 second rounds go back to Phoenix. Thunder won the championship. Beat the Pacers last night, 103-91. Tyrese Halliburton went down the first quarter with that gruesome. I say gruesome just because you've seen more gruesome injuries, but man, just watching that
the context.
It was horrible. Travis Hunter signed his rookie deal with the Jaguars, 4 years, $46.5 million. John Jones announced his retirement. Keegan Bradley came from a shot down on the last hole to win the Travelers with a birdie on 18, which was spectacular. United beat San Antonio 4-2. LSU won the College Baseball World Series. I mean, just good stuff everywhere. But I don't know. Maybe it was miserable. 505-246-0610. Isaiah's in for JJ today. Zay, Mike is telling us why he didn't watch the NBA.
Okay.
Because it was the officials. I've watched hoops for 50 years. And I don't know what a foul is anymore. They'll let something go 4 times and call it on the 5th. The official poster should be a dude with his palms up. Okay. That's going to be, you know how everybody's got a silhouette, like the logo is Jerry West and MJ is Jumpman.
Yeah.
And LeBron's is going to just be palms up completely. I mean, that's how it's got to be, right?
Yeah.
The silhouette. When it like that's that.
I feel like the NBA did a good job in the playoffs. At least NBA as in the referees.
Dude, it's so hard. Have you ever officiated? Like, just gone out and officiated a rec league game or anything like that?
Nope, not even kids. And I still think that'd be too tough because of the parents, but it'd still be tough just in general.
Yeah, I threw a parent out of a gym when I was 16. But it was just, they're ridiculous. But I did. When I was, high school stuff, I umpired baseball, I did flag football, and I officiated basketball, all youth sports. And it's hard, man. I mean, what's a foul? What's not a foul? It's hard.
You threw a parent out at 16?
Yeah, dude, he was riding me, and I told him enough. Stop, sir, enough.
How old were the kids you were roughing?
Probably 10.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And I blew the whistle. The gym went quiet. I said, "Sir, you're going to leave now." And he started cussing me out. I said, "Sir, enough. Either that or your son's team will forfeit the game." I'm not. I'm literally. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not listening to your crowd. Yeah. I thought he was waiting for me in the parking lot too. I didn't have a police escort. IPS wasn't there to help me when I left. Yeah. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Howie?
Good morning, Jeff. How you doing today?
Life's grooving. How you living?
Well, good. I just have a question. I want to talk about the NBA Finals, but as far as Kevin Durant goes, don't you think it might be a little too humid for him in Houston?
Ooh, it could be too humid. Yeah, because the dry heat in Phoenix is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a little chilly in Minnesota, but it might be a little too humid for him in Houston.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So Edward shared on the thread a little bit this morning about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 32.7 average throughout the playoffs, and the he's a great player. He really, really is. But I think regular season Alexander and playoff Alexander are a little bit different in this. He hoisted the ball up close to 40 times yesterday, and he made about 10 or 11. I don't know the exact amount.
Who did?
But he's taking a lot of shots. Alexander. I think it was like 9 for 37 or 9 for 34 at one time.
8 for 27 last night.
Okay, well, it seemed like a lot more. Yeah. But, I mean, it's like when you're shooting below 30%, which I believe if my mathematics did not escape me, that's below 30%. So, I think that mid-range game of his is a thing of beauty, but when it comes up contested consistently in the playoffs, it loses a little bit of its luster. But I still think he had a good playoff, but I'm not sure if MVP were. But then again, I don't know who else would have been.
No, it was him. There was no one else. It was him. He was their leading scorer. Chet was good defensively, but I thought he was inconsistent offensively. Jalen Williams had the 40-point game, but then he had the minus 40 plus minus game, and he was okay. He was nowhere to be found the first half yesterday. Now that's why it was unanimous. It was a no-brainer. It was him.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm just a little more critical than some, but I'm a Cowboy fan, so we expect perfection. So anyway.
So you're used to being disappointed, and I get it. That's
yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the College World Series, Jeff.
Yes, please.
Saturday was a masterful game. Kate Anderson was something else. I was afraid they were going to pull him in the ninth. I really was when he had that complete game going, and I think he gave up a leadoff single or a two-out single, something like that. I was watching the game, and I'm glad they didn't pull him. He got the complete game, and his opposing pitcher also did a pretty masterful job. 6 innings of really good pitching, and he had another one come on in 2 innings of pretty good relief. That was a great game. Coastal Carolina was clearly not the better team. LSU was, but when it came to heart, Coastal Carolina made both of those games, in my opinion. It was a good College World Series.
I agree. What did you think about the umpire or the manager getting thrown out in the first inning, and then the first base umpire coming down, falling on his ass, and wanting the manager suspended? I mean, what a clown show that was.
I thought I was watching one of those guys that tour the bananas or whatever. I thought maybe it was some sort of show like that for a while.
Yeah, actually, that's really good. Yeah, no, I thought it was good, and LSU's a dynasty, but I do love seeing a team like Coastal out of the Sun Belt be able to get there, not just once, but now the second time in the last, 9 years. Yeah, getting to the final shot. Hell, they won it a few years back, in 2016. No, I loved it.
Yep.
Loved it.
So it was actually a pretty good weekend for sports. I watched that. Watched some WNBA yesterday. Watched the finals. It was a pretty good weekend for sports.
I agree. The golf tournament was terrific. It was good. All right, man. It's great to hear you.
Later.
See you. 505-246-0610. Yeah, there was more than just the NBA, although certainly that would be the highlight. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Emails are coming in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Got a summer road trip coming up. They are fun until you get home, and then you got to deal with, well, all the remnants of it, including your car. It looks like, well, it's just been on a road trip. It's got bugs all over the front, the grill, and the windshield. It's got fast food wrappers and junk everywhere. The cup holders are sticky. You got sand and snack crumbs everywhere. On the Spot Automotive Detailing takes care of that. One of my favorite things is when On the Spot Automotive Detailing comes out to me at the office and details my vehicle. That's what they do. They come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, at home, at the office. So whether it's post-vacation grime or it's just an overdue cleanup, which happens for all of us, On the Spot Automotive Detailing's award-winning team comes to you, home or work, and your car looks, feels, smells fresh again. Remember that new car feel? Remember when you took it off the lot? Remember how fun it was to get in your vehicle? You can have that again without the new car price. Look, cars are one of your biggest investments. You're probably going to have it for a long time. The way the economy's going with tariffs and all the uncertainty, take care of your vehicle. Also, with the summer craziness, you want to avoid the blaring sun? Talk to them about their professional window tinting services. Also, ceramic coating, paint protection film. They do it all, and they are the best. They were awarded best in the city because they are the best in the city. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can book and buy online. It's all at OTSdetailing.com. That is OTSdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please
12 having to find a 8th football playing school, and we've been told for weeks now that their media deal is going to be announced. This morning, the new Pac-12 and CBS announced a partnership through the 2030-2031 season, where CBS is going to be the primary partner for media rights for the Pac-12. Now, there'll be other deals out there, but the Pac-12 and CBS announced that CBS will be the primary long-term media partner for the new Pac-12, starting not this coming school year, but the following year. So this establishes CBS as the primary partner. Additional partners will be added. This is for football and men's basketball for the new Pac-12 that'll air throughout the season on CBS and streaming on Paramount, as well as CBS Sports Network. Some of the highlights for the Pac-12, and I don't know what this means for the Mountain West. I got to believe there's still room for the Mountain West to remain a partner, but we'll see where the Mountain West falls in CBS Sports and those things. But highlights of the extended partnership between CBS and the new Pac-12 include the annual football championship game in the Pac-12 will be on CBS and streamed live on Paramount. The annual men's basketball tournament championship game will be on CBS. A minimum of 3 regular season football games will be on CBS and Paramount Plus. And a minimum of 3 regular season men's basketball games on CBS and Paramount Plus. Football and men's basketball games throughout the regular season will air on CBS Sports Network. So it sounds very similar with a few more guarantees on Big Boy CBS as the Mountain West deal was. But now the Pac-12 has it, and I don't know what that's going to mean as far as where the Mountain West goes. Is there room for them to extend their media days are probably like 2.5 weeks out, so we'll see who's there. But yeah, they're pretty fired up about this in the Pac-12. So
yeah, all these, it seems like, I think it's cool to see how these companies are evolving, how television's finding ways, because streaming, I mean, there was nothing you're going to be able to do to stop it. It was coming like a tsunami. And I mean, now this just moves that even forward. Now
it's another paywall, right? So Paramount Plus is another subscription.
Yes.
Peacock is another subscription. ESPN Plus is a subscription. So it's just getting into your pocket more and more. And this is what's frustrating a lot of people, right? You want to be on linear, meaning you want to be on ESPN, CBS Sportsnet, Fox FS1, those things. The piece that is getting tricky is you got 2 or 3 key games that are behind another paywall.
And it's like you wish there was, I mean, of course there are some special ways to pull it off, but you wish there was just one service you could buy that would just give you everything. Now you have to go get all these separate subscriptions just to watch sports.
Yeah.
So that's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. So that's where the Pac-12 has gone with their primary. I've heard that they're in negotiations with the CW and Turner, but we'll see. And Apple, I've also heard. But the Pac-12 moving forward, the new Pac-12, announced today that their primary rights holder will be CBS through the 2030-31 season. Isaiah's in for JJ today. We got another hour to play with you. 505-246-0610. Come on in. Big weekend, man. There was a lot going on. Thunder NBA champions. The Halliburton thing was brutal. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho.
9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Parade tomorrow if you're headed over to Oklahoma. I don't know what time you'll find it out. Whatever, midday, right through the heart of downtown Oklahoma City. Thunder beat the shorthanded Pacers 103-91. A big third quarter was the difference in Game 7. Did Game 7 live up to it for you? Were you disappointed? Were you left wanting more? I thought the playoffs were good. I thought there was good drama. Yeah, we had a lot of blowouts, especially early. I thought the playoffs were good. I thought the best team ended up as the champion. 103-91 in Game 7. Oklahoma City beats Indiana. This game will be remembered probably more so. The lasting image, while maybe not the best and maybe not even deserving to be, but the lasting image of this will be Tyrese Halliburton, the right Achilles going, us having to watch it 15 times and 20 times.
Yeah.
And him on the floor going, no. And just sickening. Isaiah's in for JJ. I'm Jeff Symbieta. It's 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Zay, I'm going to reiterate what I said at the very top of the show. And I think there's times, and it's okay, where something can be wonderful and horrible, where you can walk away from this and say, wow, that was really great, but that really sucked.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, great seeing a terrific team win a championship, a uncommon team, as their head coach Mark Dagnall says about them. Bunch of young guys that seem to really like each other, that seem to play the game the right way, but yet just be sickened by Tyrese Halliburton, a guy who I think is very likable and was coming into stardom, blow out his Achilles, played with the calf strain. We knew that this was a possibility. We've seen it happen before with Kevin Durant. We debated, should he play, should he not? I will stand by it, even knowing the result. I've got zero problem, even if he misses next year, zero problem that Tyrese Halliburton ran himself out there in Game 7 with a calf strain, understanding that he could blow out his Achilles just like Kevin Durant did in a very exact situation, because I don't know that guy's ever going to get another opportunity. Mm-hmm. And it's a chance to be at the pinnacle of your profession. And, yeah, there was a risk, and the risk came to reality, but I got zero problem with that dude going out there and doing that.
Yeah, what also, it really sucks about it is, one of the knocks on Halliburton is that, some games he might go out and score 30, and some games he might score 8. Usually he keeps his team involved regardless of how much he scores. But when he is scoring from the field, that's when Indiana, usually was guaranteed to find success. And, in that game, he had hit 3 big shots.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
he was playing really, really well. He was getting into it with the crowd. And when you're in OKC and you're playing against the Thunder, and it's been this way since the Kevin Durant, Westbrook days, and maybe, you know, you could maybe confirm, I'm sure, back even further, their crowd, if you allow them to get off to a fast start, or if you give them any sort of momentum and their crowd gets into it, it's really, really tough for an away team to overcome that. So Halliburton was doing a great job of keeping the crowd contained. He was hitting big, deep shots, and to see him go down like that, I'll give the Pacers some credit. Like they hung in there. They went in with a 1-point lead at halftime, but it just seemed that once the Thunder decided to lock in and, you know, corral T.J. McConnell, the Pacers had no other option. And the Thunder, as you said, historically have a great defense, statistically.
Yeah, let me play another cliche. Defenses win championships. And, I mean, defense won them a championship. I think what they did in the third quarter and fourth quarter, clamping down, and everybody but McConnell was shut down completely.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when McConnell, I don't know if you noticed, mid-fourth quarter, McConnell was on the bench, came back, and the McConnell magic was done. The McConnell magic ran out. I think what they do defensively, they forced 24 turnovers. 14 of them were steals. In contrast, the Thunder turned the ball over 7 times last night.
Wow.
Indiana turned the ball over 24 times. I mean, what are we doing, right?
Yeah, and then, you know, as we said before, you want to give the Thunder their credit. And I think, you know, you have for sure, and I think I've done a good job at, you know, giving them their credit as well. But when you look at losing a guy like Halliburton, it's not as simple as just saying, oh, how many more points would he have scored, and doing that type of math.
No idea.
It's about, you know, running the offense. And you think, would there have been that many turnovers if a guy who earlier in his playoffs, what was it? He scored like 30 points and had no turnovers. He did something insane along those lines. And, you know, you do wonder what would have happened. And it does suck that we might not get to see him again for another year. But I think over the course of this time, you got guys like McConnell. They just got him locked in, right? So at least you feel like you've got a good future with T.J. McConnell. He's locked into 2028, 2029, I believe. So that's a positive.
I think they're going to be fine. I don't know that I think they get back.
No, they won't get back.
Who's your favorite in the East right now? Tatum's out. The Knicks are going to be different. Cleveland?
Yeah.
I mean, Miami will make a move. I love what Detroit's becoming.
Yeah, it's tough to say right now.
What about Orlando?
Yeah.
The Desmond Bane trade.
They could get better.
They will get better. That trade made them better. I think the East is completely wide open. And
it's supposed to be a big offseason.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. And the Knicks are going to do something big, and that's fine. But again, I'm going to go back. I got no problem with dude playing, even understanding the results, even knowing what happened. And I got to believe that if that was me, I'd have played too. And I'm going to guess if it was you in Game 7 at the top of your profession, for everything you've ever wanted, dude, but if you go out there, you might blow your Achilles. It's going to hurt like hell, and you might be out of here.
I think, you know, like you were saying earlier, if you do the statistics, right, and you look at it, I don't assume that it would be anywhere near 70. I'm sure it'd be maybe like 90% on the backside. Yeah, but I think like with how groundbreaking these two were with Kevin Durant and then Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs, you know, calf strain, you go out and play anyways. I mean, one more person goes down with a calf strain Achilles pop, I think you're going to start having real considerations. The guys aren't going to risk it. They're not going to risk it. And I think it's the reason why you won't risk it is although the percentage could be very, very small, it's an Achilles pop. And as we just said, Halliburton's going to be out for a year. So now he's going to be out for a whole year. It's not as simple as, oh, this would be an injury that you'll just make worse or something that you can go push through. The backside is a whole year possibly being out.
No, that's right. And like you said, you know, we hear about the guys who it did happen to. Halliburton, previously Kevin Durant. I'm going to guess, and again, I don't know this, that there's a lot of guys who have played through calf strain that didn't blow their Achilles. And I don't know what the percentages are, what your chances are of blowing it. You're playing at an elite level. We only hear about the guys that do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, how much of a risk? Obviously, there was a risk. There was a risk he was willing to take, and I'm going to...
Yeah, but then on the flip side, right, if you are going to compare it to KD, then it's not, if you're Halliburton, it's not a bad thing, because Kevin Durant, in my personal opinion, I can't think of another athlete who bounced back better from an Achilles tear. Like, and usually when an athlete has an Achilles tear, that's about it, especially in basketball. But Kevin Durant came back from the Achilles tear. I think he won a gold medal.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, right. And I was gonna mention him, but like I guess you can still say we don't know for sure yet. I think it's fair to give.
I don't know
somebody
that we're ever
going to
know because we're comparing a guy who's 26 to a guy who's 41.
Yeah.
I just don't know that that's a fair comp.
Yeah, and KD was also much older than 26. So I think Halliburton, it'll be interesting to see how him and Tatum both respond because they're around the same age group. But of course, as we were saying earlier, everything evolves. So the recovery for these injuries, the way they do the surgeries, you know, it should be something he can bounce back from. I wouldn't say fairly easy, but, you know, I think he'll be fine.
Well, I don't think his career is over. But, you know, is it worth losing the year? And I would argue he would tell you yes.
Yeah, because who knows if he misses a year, right, and say the Pacers have a down year, you go get a good draft pick, and now you get Halliburton back, and you're a team that really was better than your record, but you didn't have your star player. You know, a lot of times that's how these teams find themselves with championship-built teams.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing with you. I think you're right. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. Got a text on the Pac-12 media deal, and if you just missed it, Pac-12 announced this morning that their primary media partner going through the 2030-2031 season will be CBS. And like I told you, it's very similar to what the Mountain West had, right? And I got a text. The Pac-12 media deal is basically the old Mountain West deal. While that may not be great news for the Mountain West, it kind of tells me that the deal they got is no better than they would have got had they not broken up the Mountain West. So it's a win if the point was just to break up the Mountain West. But it doesn't look like much of a win if you were hoping to form a better league than what existed. I think the whole point was to get a lot more money. Now, I haven't seen any of the financials on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is CBS paying just a bunch more for less teams? They got Washington State and Oregon State and dumped the, as they love to say, the bottom feeders: New Mexico, Wyoming, Nevada, San Jose State. I don't know what the money is.
Why are we considered the bottom feeders?
Well, that's what they call them, right? They feel like they got away from the bottom feeders. They got what was dragging them down. That's why these schools left. They got rid of the Wyomings and the New Mexicos and the San Jose States and the Nevadas. Even though New Mexico won more conference titles this year in the Mountain West than anybody, including all the schools.
Yeah, it was like 6 out of 7, 5 out of 6.
Well, they won 6. I mean, out of however many. I mean, there's a lot more than that. But I saw something over the last, I want to say, decade. Boise State's won the most conference championships. San Diego State has won the most conference championships, and second was New Mexico over a long run. If you don't realize this was all about football, you're just wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, also pointing out that it's about money. It seems like that's what everything is about.
Well, hence football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where the money is. It's about money, and hence football. 505-246-0610. All right, we can get some other stuff over the weekend. What about Shohei yesterday, what he did? The golf was spectacular. You got a champion in baseball. Travis Hunter got paid. Isaiah's in for JJ. We're open for business at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
Listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Unfiltered with...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach. My teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
All right, elsewhere over the weekend, well, let me give you the news this morning. Pac-12 announced a primary media deal moving forward. The new Pac-12 with CBS as their primary media rights holder. No financials have been released as the Pac-12 continues to negotiate with other outlets, other networks for additional media rights deal. But that'll start not this coming year, but with the new Pac-12 when the 5 Mountain West teams join Washington State, Oregon State, and whomever will be added. So CBS will be their main carrier. Also, over the weekend, New Mexico United got 2 goals in stoppage time. They beat San Antonio 4-2 out of the ball pitch. They remain in first place in the West of USL Championship. John Jones announced his retirement from UFC. Kevin Durant got traded. And the Travelers, the end of the golf tournament was nuts. All right, so I know you don't watch. So you know what a par is? Isaiah's in for JJ. Have you been an edgy guy? I was listening to you one day.
Yes.
They had to explain to you what par was. You didn't understand par.
Yes, yeah. No, I didn't.
So you understand when you watch golf, you see the scores, like now you understand like 3 under par, 14 or whatever.
Yes. Now I'm understanding. So when you told me that you hit a birdie on 13.
Oh, my birdie putt on 13 yesterday.
Yeah, I was like,
that
okay.
That won the hole. I needed to win a hole there. Actually, I parred the first 5 holes yesterday. I played, for a minute. I played okay yesterday.
Okay, so you had one under the. No, you had one under the stroke.
On 13, yeah. Birdie. I mean, I didn't play that well back. It started out 5 pars in a row. It was kind of crazy. Not like me. It's a hard game, dude. It's a hard game. The ball sits there, says hit me.
Well, we were saying everything evolves, everything gets better. Yeah. So you're getting better.
Except for the golf game. But Tommy Fleetwood, who's a terrific golfer, Englishman, was leading the Travelers. He was 3 strokes up to start. Everybody else seemed like they were falling apart. And Keegan Bradley, who is going to be the captain for the United States Ryder Cup team, is from Vermont. This was up in Connecticut, so it was kind of New England's tournament. So Bradley was the favorite. I mean, they love Keegan Bradley up there, and looked like he had fallen out, and now he's the number 9 in the Ryder Cup standings for the United States. But came down to the last hole, and Fleetwood was stumbling a little bit, and they both hit the fairway. Fleetwood changed clubs. It looked like him and his caddy couldn't decide on a club. He changed his clubs, comes up short with a 1-stroke lead. Bradley throws a dart to within 6 feet, 5 feet 8 inches, what they said. So he had a birdie putt. Fleetwood basically 3 putt. It was technically a 2 putt because he was on the fringe, but 3 putts, makes bogey. Bradley makes birdie, picks up 2 strokes on the last hole, wins the tournament by 1, and the place went bonkers. It was it was really, really, really cool. The whole hometown feel to it was great. So. Yeah, that, and of course the hoops was terrific last night. We all sat around and got sick to our stomach when Halliburton went down and watched the Thunder win. Lamont, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living, Lamont? Like that. He gone.
Picked up 2 strokes on the last hole.
What's that?
I don't know.
That was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
It was like a bunch of flashing lights and then me.
We'll have to figure that out. I'm sure he'll call back. He went to talk some John Jones and some NBA.
Yeah.
The John Jones news is kind of crazy, too.
So what'd you make of that? Did that surprise you as John Jones announced over the weekend that he's retiring from UFC? He is considered, if not the best, I mean, certainly one of the best ever to do it. It seemed sudden, but maybe you should have seen it coming. What is John, 36? Is that what he is? I believe that's right. I thought that was a little bit of a surprise, but you're not going to get to see John fight UFC anymore. Which
I feel like it's
37.
I feel like it's a setup, man. I don't believe it. I think this is a mind game because by him there's a guy named Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
Everyone's been pressuring him to fight, and I think that this is a setup to give Tom the belt, so then he comes back, beats Tom, and takes the belt back, and it's even better.
All right. I mean, after and there's new legal stuff. There's a misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident in February that was filed last week in Metropolitan Court in Albuquerque. But he said, today I'm officially announcing my retirement from UFC. This decision comes after a lot of reflection. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I've experienced over the years. Okay. All right. Sherman, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Sherman?
Hey, and there's good morning.
Well, go ahead and turn the radio down, please. Thank you. What's up, man?
Oh, sorry. Well, I thought that yesterday the putt that really won was on the front nine when Keegan hit that 64-foot putt for the birdie.
Yep, 64 feet. Yep.
And it was not a straight putt.
No.
What a curve he hit.
It was a bender. Yep.
Totally fair. I've had 9 irons that were not anywhere near as good as his putt.
Didn't go as far.
All right, sir.
All right. See you
Enjoy.
later. Yeah, he hit a 64-footer, which was the same length that J.J. Spawn hit the week prior to win the U.S. Open.
See,
look,
I don't know that much golf to know what that meant.
That's a long-ass putt. What's up, Lamont? How you doing?
Good morning, Justin Bieta. Nice to meet you. And anyway, the finals were kind of like bland, but you know, we had some stars emerge, like SGA. We had Kyrie. Said it's so bad that he got hurt.
Sucks.
I would have really liked to seen how it would have turned out if he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, I think we all would have.
Yeah, they were spectacular. That's all I can say. It's the finals are the finals. I don't see how anybody's disappointed. They're two good teams. They're great teams, and it is what it is. But anyways, as far as John Bones,
yeah,
this guy. Like, he's just waiting for a payday. That's all it is. He doesn't want to fight. Like, he's only going to fight like probably like one or two more fights, but he's going to be back. He is going to be back.
Okay.
I know that because he's Bones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he literally runs the UFC.
In some respects.
And that's my take.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Who doesn't want a payday? Look, when you get to be that dude in that age, no, honestly, if you're him and you're 37, you're damn right I want a payday.
Yeah, I mean, he said if I want to fight Tom, I think he said $300 million or something like that.
No. $300 million?
Yeah, he said he need $300 million.
All right, well, that probably isn't going to happen.
Yeah, everyone thought that Dana was going to give him the money, thought the fight was going to happen. Now he's saying he's going to retire, but I definitely think that this is a leverage play. I don't see him being done. There's still guys, even if it's not Tom, there's still guys, you know, that he said he would fight, like Francis Ngannou. That'd be a great fight. Alex Pereira, he said he'd be down to fight him.
I'm seeing he wants 40 to 50 million for that fight. I mean, 300 million seems like a lot. Dana White said that John Jones demanded $42 million to fight Aspinall. 42
Really?
Million. Yeah. Then they're all over the place. I mean, as far as the numbers. And this one says, 1.2.
And Dana said no. It's insane.
Yeah, this one says 12 million. I mean, whatever. I'm seeing number. Joan wants to be 30 million. Yeah, so not 500, but I'm seeing anywhere.
Oh wow, yeah, he did leak that. Right there on Joe Rogan.
So I'm seeing 30 to 42 million is what he asked for. And so he said he would have fought him. And look, I don't have a problem. And to Lamont's point, he's looking for a payday. You know what? Dude's 37.
Yeah.
He's made UFC a lot of money and put them, I don't want to say on the map because that's not right, but certainly elevated their profile.
Mm-hmm.
If he is what many people say the best fighter to ever fight, then I got no problem with him wanting a payday. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the finances of UFC to know what market value should be for a fight of that magnitude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would bring in. I mean, it's a business, and Dana's got to be able to make money. How many? Do the math. If you're going to sell it for $100, would you buy that fight for $100?
Yeah.
So if each fighter, let's just say, making $30 million, that's $60 million, right? I mean, what's Aspinall going to make? You got to pay the other dude too, right?
Well, yes. So in John's case, his whole thing is not only does he think the fight would be big, but he wants that much. So he wants so much to the point that he doesn't care about the thought of losing. He wants it to be like so that if he was to lose, it's like, I got paid so much, I don't care. So I feel like
I want to do that too.
All right, don't we all? So he feels in his position he's at the right, and he's been saying for about a year now, look, I'll retire. I'll give up the belt. I don't care about the belt. I want to fight for legacy. I don't care about fighting this new guy because I'll beat him, and then you guys will say there's somebody else that's going to come up. And
all right, so the fights on ESPN Plus would go for like $60, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would a fight like this go for $100?
It could. They would be able to put this, especially now that he retired.
So Jones and Aspinall, $100 to break even just to pay these guys. Now, obviously, there's way more that goes into it. 600,000 buys at $100. That doesn't seem crazy, does it?
Mm-mm.
I mean, $60 million divided by $100 is $600,000.
And then on top of that, there's firecrackers involved. So you got John, of course, he's John Jones, and then this Tom Aspinall guy, he's got the fastest knockout rate in UFC history.
Yeah, no, I want to see it too. Don't get me wrong, but I got no problem with John holding out for whatever he thinks it's worth. I mean, and again, if $30 million is ridiculous, you're telling me, dude, like 10 would be a lot for him. I don't know. I'm not going to tell John how to manage his finances. I'm really not.
You know, this reminds me of like when you're younger and you're begging your parents to go to McDonald's or go get fast food, and they're saying no, but there's been times where you convince them to say yeah, so you're holding out hope, and you're like, yeah, they're saying no, but they're gonna say yeah eventually. Like if I just keep on begging, if I keep on pressing, or if you're grounded and you're trying to get off punishment early, I mean, like they'll give in. And I think that's how people were feeling about John. And like, no, he's gonna give in. He's gonna fight Tom. He's saying he's not gonna, but he will. And then he just comes out and retires. And now it's like,
So $30 million is the Happy Meal? Is that what you're saying?
$30 million's
$30 million's a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a chocolate shake with that?
Nah, caramel sundae.
They got caramel sundae.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Tell them to put some M&Ms in
Dude,
there.
the McDonald's soft serve is really good. No, it is. Like, and I don't know why their soft serve's pretty, but I haven't had it in a minute. But it is pretty damn good, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like their McFlurries with M&Ms in there.
Mm-hmm. See, I started getting creative. I put some Oreos and caramel in there too.
Yeah, it's not quite a
Cold Stone,
a Dairy Queen
Blizzard.
Yeah, it's not quite that, but it's like, I don't know, a third of the price. And if you're on the road and you see a McDonald's and you just want to get like a McFlurry,
it'll do.
Tell me I'm wrong. You're on a roadie and there's because there's McDonald's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
I mean, why is their soft serve so good?
I don't know. They've got. I know back in the '80s they used to put things in certain things to make it more addictive.
They put things in certain things.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're doing nowadays.
When you put them things in certain things, man, I mean that becomes addictive. 505-246-0610. John Jones is retired. You believe he's retired? You can get in on the NBA. You got a half hour to go. How good was SGA? How sickening was the Halliburton thing? Did you watch Coastal Carolina and LSU over the weekend? You can get in on that. If you were at United match, you can get in there. And Travis Hunter got paid on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Happy birthday, America! It's time to grill, chill, and...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2.
Feedback coming on the Pac-12 deal. I'm not sure how people feel about it because it's certainly very reminiscent, very similar to what the Mountain West had, at least on surface. Now, I don't know what the numbers are. Pac-12 has announced CBS will be their primary media rights holder through the 2030-31 season. 505-246-0610. Isaiah is in for JJ all week long. It'll be me. I'm merely Jeff Sibieta. Alongside of Isaiah, 505-246-0610. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good morning. Hey, did you happen to see that Angel Campos performance there at the College World Series?
That would be the umpire. I shouldn't know
Yes,
the
sir.
umpire's name. I really shouldn't. But yeah, I did.
Yeah, you shouldn't, and he never should have done what he did. I don't understand what got him so ticked off that in the middle of a pitch, he runs not only the coach in the bottom of the first, but the coach's first base umpire. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I was watching. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, not
You
the
know?
first base umpire, the first base coach. Yeah, especially in a championship game to have zero tolerance to not only not de-escalate the situation, but in fact escalate the situation. It was bizarre to see, and bizarre to see in a game of that magnitude with that sort of spotlight on college baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure he didn't do the Bull Durham, say the wrong word. I don't think that the coach would do that,
You wouldn't think so. No, he was arguing balls and strikes, which is considered to be a no-no, right? You're not supposed to be able, but again, to run the manager in a national championship game with that many eyes on it was a horrible, horrible look for college baseball and certainly for Angel Campos.
Yeah, and especially when it comes, against a low-resource team, when you're playing a high-resource team like LSU. But on to the NBA Finals, I guess everything happens in Oklahoma, right?
It seems.
I don't know. I was pretty convinced that the Pacers were going to win it, but Halliburton going down, that was the difference. I mean, once he went down, you knew there was no way they were going to win that game. They just don't have enough on the offensive end if Halliburton's not firing up shots for him. But it was an entertaining series, and I hope that going forward the NBA can continue to claw back some of the fans that left because it just got so boring. There was some actual defense and team ball being played in this. And final thought, and maybe you can get Coach Eck on, it looks like they got some pretty good recruits. This Rickland Holmes.
And high school recruits, too.
Yes, sir. Rickland Holmes II was the Oklahomans' 2024 All-City Defensive Player of the Year, 6 foot, 220-pound linebacker. And we've had some kids come out of Del City, Oklahoma that have played pretty good for UNF. So that sounds like a good get. I don't know who else they got. We'll see going through the day, but it might be time to have Coach Eck on and wrap that up before we get too carried away for basketball season. That's still months away.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, man. No, appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, look, the NBA Finals were good. I'm going to tell you, when Hallie went down, I thought they were going to win. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but there was part of me, and I said it to Addie as we were watching. I said, this is so sports. If they come back and win, this is why we watch sports, the unpredictability of it, that the superstar goes down, that nobody thinks that they can win, and somehow they pull this thing off. Now, obviously, they couldn't find any way to score when Oklahoma City clamped down late in the game. And to me, that was the difference. It was, it was T.J. McConnell, and nobody else was able to score for, what was it? Was it 11 minutes? Nobody else scored besides him,
Sheesh.
which is bonkers.
That's crazy. That's just not something that you're expecting. And also, you look at the finals, and usually one of the biggest reasons the winner of the finals becomes the winner is because you got like that random role player, has a really, really good game 7, or just has like a highlight game of the series. And that could have been T.J. McConnell's game, but they just couldn't figure out a way to get any more productivity on offense from anybody else. Also, I just watched this College World Series incident for the first time.
Yeah.
And so my initial reaction is, I want to say, in what so 2 things. Why would you throw out a coach that early, right? They threw out 2 of them. I don't know what was being said, and I don't know what
they threw out the first base coach and the manager.
I don't know what the threshold is or how often that happens. A coach will get tossed. Also, what could a coach be so upset about that early in the game that he's willing to just not let something...
It was balls and strikes what he was arguing, and it was the second game of the series, so I don't know what led up to it. But I think he got that upset from the reaction, the initial response to him coming out and expressing his displeasure, I guess would be the word. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The funniest part of it is, so the umpire that does fall down, he gets up, and he could tell he understands, like, I just fell down on
national TV, and now I'm really pissed. I know. And he did. He just pitched his own self, right?
He just walks off like, oh my God.
His ass is down, his heels are up. Yeah. and the manager afterwards was asked about that because the umpire that fell immediately called for the suspension of the manager, and the manager's like, his lack of athleticism is not my responsibility. Like, I'm not going to be responsible for his lack of athleticism. It was beautiful, dude. And I don't even think he got hit, right? He just kind of came and just fell on his ass.
Yeah, he just fell, did the whole roll and everything, and got up and tried to walk.
There's nowhere to go now.
Yeah, if you're a coach and you're arguing, one of them falls, you're like, okay, well, now I'm done.
Yeah.
Now. No, I can't convince him to do anything.
Yeah. That was me.
Have they ever thrown a coach out and then we're like, okay, you can come back?
No.
That's never happened. When it's done, it's done.
Never. It's a long time. I cannot recall that. Maybe somebody's got something on that. Maybe the Google machine will tell you. I don't know that they've ever thrown a guy out and said, yeah, you know what, maybe
we made a mistake. They did it in the NBA this last season.
They did?
Yeah, there was a guy. There was a player who they threw him out and then brought him back in, and we're like, okay, now you can come back.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Our fault.
Like, I've never seen a manager win an argument. Have you ever seen a manager go out and you're right, that was a strike.
No.
Or you know what, you're right, he was safe. I mean, have you ever seen that?
No. So this was Andre Drummond. He was ejected for 2 technicals, and then they took it back. And
really?
He come back in.
Because why? The referee didn't realize he had the first technical and realized he was too quick with the whistle?
Yeah, he's like, my fault. That's what we need, more accountability in situations like all this.
I don't hate that, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure I've ever seen it. All right, we're going to wrap it up when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Monday. Still have time to get in at 505-246-0610. I had Leon from LaBarge Landscape come out to the house the other day. I got a blind spot, Zay. I'm not real good at yard work. I don't love yard work. I don't have time for yard work, and my yard's gotten, it's not like brutal, but it needs a cleanup, and LaBarge is going to take care of that for me. Walk through it. Here's what you want done here. We're going to redo my irrigation system. My sprinklers need a real overhaul. LaBarge Landscape is going to take care of you as well. Professional landscape construction and maintenance company. They specialize in synthetic turf and pavers and concrete and retaining walls and cleanup and maintenance. You need that company that is going to do what they say they're going to do, to come out and, whether it's a cleanup, whether it's a full design, or maybe just maintenance. You want to come out a couple times, whatever, pick your schedule. You can trust them. Why? Well, first of all, they're licensed and bonded and insured. What that means is you don't have to worry about them not doing the job. I got the little baggie with the little rocks in it that come on the driveway. I got a bunch of them. Well, I throw them away, but you don't know who they are. You don't know if they're going to just take your money and not show up. That's what licensed, bonded, insured means. But that's not just why they're going to do it. With 80-plus years of experience, they take pride in what they're doing. This is a family-owned and operated company that is local. and they specialize in all these things: professional landscape construction and maintenance and cleanups and irrigation, and whatever it is you need. Labarge is your answer. Their quality work is impeccable. Their pricing is incredibly competitive. Don't know exactly what it is you want, but you know you want something? Labarge will come out. Their experts will walk you through the process. They'll design sketches, give you ideas until you find exactly what it is you and your family are looking for. Again, I'm having a cleanup. I need it. I can't wait till it's done. But my experience with Labarge has been terrific. Call Labarge Landscaping. 505-345-3000. 505-345-3000. Online, you can look at them and you can book an appointment there at Labarge, L-A-B-A-R-G-E, labargelandscape.com. Whether your project is small or large, the answer is easy. It's Labarge Landscaping.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Thunder. Oklahoma City wins the NBA championship 103-91. But really, everybody's talking about Tyrese Halliburton going down with the Achilles. Talking about the Kevin Durant trade. KD goes from Phoenix to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. 10th overall pick in Thursday's draft and 5 second-round picks. People are talking about John Jones's retirement announcement over the weekend. Mexico United 4-2 winners over San Antonio on Saturday, passed out at the ball pitch. Keegan Bradley comes from a stroke down on the last hole to beat Tommy Fleetwood at the Travelers. And Travis Hunter got a 4-year, $46.5 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah. On the text line, 505-246-0610. John says, Jeff, Isaiah, that first inning in the College World Series where the umpire and managers are getting hot reminded me of the Dodgers and Padres managers in the first inning. Almost came to the hands flying. Kind of ironic. Thanks. Yeah, that was interesting when the Dodgers and Padres managers were shoving each other the other day.
Maybe they were just like, yeah, you know, I saw it on TV and me try to go be.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we want to be like
yeah,
the
I'm
big
sure that's
leaguers.
what it was.
We want to be like the big leagues.
Yeah, I want to be like the Dodgers.
Steve says, fellas, spot on, Jeff, on OKC's defense in the late third quarter and the fourth. Every pass, shot, and rebound was contested and pressured. Great job, and go Lobos. That's from Steve. Yeah, I just thought Oklahoma City's defense was ratcheted up, bothered Indiana, and to me that was the difference. And they forced 24 turnovers, and they only turned the ball over 7. I mean, that's 17 extra possessions.
Yeah, I was at work and I was doing security, but we had in the bar, so the TVs were on, and I was watching, but the sound wasn't on, so I wasn't able to hear, like, you know, if there was a foul or a dead ball. But in that late third quarter, it just started to seem like every single time Indiana got the ball in that half-court setting, there was some type of scrap for the ball. And I'm wondering, is it a dead ball? And then I see OKC players running the other way with it. I'm like, is that another turnover?
Here's the other thing. I thought offensive rebounds, the beginning of the third quarter, OKC got 4 offensive rebounds in 3 possessions.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like, what is going? And to me, you could start to feel the tide turn at that point. It was absolute. I want to.
Was one of those possessions when Lou Dort hit that bomb?
I believe it was.
Yeah,
early on.
When he hit that bomb, I was like, oh, that's the end.
Yep. Terry said Oklahoma City's general manager needs credit. The Caruso trade and the Hartenstein free agency signing were very important to the title. Yeah, Sam Presti's just a genius at this.
Yeah.
Sam Presti was absolutely. If you want to give an MVP to him, I don't have a problem.
OKC is never. I mean, they went through the Durant, the Westbrook, the Harden, and they were never just a bad basketball team.
Yeah, and what they are now is champions, and he rebuilt them. And yeah, Sam Presti's their general manager, and he's fantastic. This one says John retired John Jones because he's in trouble again and likely isn't going to get through his legal trouble anytime soon. No, it's a misdemeanor, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's been through worse.
I mean, it kind of feels that way, right? This was a misdemeanor. I'm not telling you it's okay. Please don't hear that. But it's a misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident, correct? Now, I don't know what that means if he's on probation or any condition. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend. But, I mean, as you just said, he's been through worse, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he would retire. I mean, and I don't mean he's been through worse, so this is nothing. But I mean, he's been through worse as far as.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's fought and taken fights with way worse things on his resume.
I don't know. The other thing people are going to be talking about, and it's coming out, and I haven't seen any numbers attached to it, but the new Pac-12 has a primary television partner, and that's going to be CBS. And I'm looking at the CBS, so I still see no numbers on it. But CBS and the Pac-12 announced an extension of their current deal to make the network the primary long-term media rights partner for the new Pac-12. And there'll be more. So
yeah, there would definitely be more.
And there will be another football playing member added, I got to believe, in the next week, right? I mean, July 1st is what, next?
Yeah, football's right around the corner.
Well, but more so, whomever it is that's going to join the Pac-12 in the 2026-27 season, right? Has to give a 1-year notice to their current league before the exit fees go up. And the first is next Tuesday. So, I mean, it's going to be an active week.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm like,
that's
deadline.
why you're coming up on deadlines.
Okay, deadline.
And a lot of it is how much money are they going to have, and the mediation with the Mountain West, and which is now, I believe, in its 6th week in regards to figuring out how much, in fact, the Pac-12 is going to have to pay the Mountain West in regards to exit fees and poaching fees.
I remember seeing the Lobos got a little TV deal, right? They've got a lot of games that are going to be on the televised. Kojak was
right,
saying.
and that's this year. So this is the final year of the media deal, and that's why I wonder how, because this looks so similar to the Mountain West deal, right?
Okay.
On CBS Sportsnet, is there going to be room for both of them? Is Fox Sports One going to be involved with this? Is ESPN going to be a piece of it? The CW going to be a piece of it? In regards to the Pac-12, everybody likes those late windows, but the late windows, the Big Ten's got late windows, right? With USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon. The ACC has West Coast windows with Stanford and Cal, right? So while that all used to be one league with a Pac, now you got 3 leagues out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So, all right. Damn. I missed that because the trash can was moved. I mean, it's always in the corner. I like the backboard.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it back. Don't get me wrong. The Herd with Colin Cowherd's next. The Jim Rome Show follows that. 2 Men On is in at 4 o'clock. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m.
Congrats on that, by the way.
On what? Oh, on that.
Killer interview.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Adrian looks good, always does. Appreciate what you do on the visual side. Zay, thanks for coming in today. I guess you're in all week, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Good show today. Thank you for being part of it. He is Isaiah Johnson. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
The best mornings. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We